At any rate, this is part 2 here. I got all the valves out. All the bent valves are over here on the ground. They're all junk. You can see each one of them as I spin them around. They're just, that one's not too bad, but they're bent. So we got new valves we're going to put in. Started cleaning up the head. I wanted to show you some tricks that I use that I've had good luck with. Sorry, I got the hiccups. An old timer taught me this trick long ago. There's many videos on YouTube how to resurface or clean up the surface of the cylinder head. First, I like to use engine degreaser, gunk, the original stuff. First, I start off with a scraper, scrape all the heavy stuff off. You got to be careful not to gouge the surface. Obviously, it's aluminum. You want a nice smooth surface here. I take wet dry sandpaper with engine degreaser or automatic transmission fluid, and basically, just like sanding a car, crisscross like this. It'll bring out any imperfections. You'll see where the imperfections are. You want to take the least amount of metal off as possible to give you a nice, smooth, clean surface to have the cylinder head gasket and the block meet. Now, the first job I ever had was at automotive machine shop. I used to do cylinder heads with a lathe or with a mill and mill cut them, and I don't like to take a lot of metal off of a cylinder head. There's a couple reasons why. You change basically the angles of everything, and the more metal you take off, the more problems you have. I mean, it's cast that way for a certain reason. This cylinder head was on the engine for, since it was new and almost 100,000 miles. Did not have a head gasket leak. Therefore, I clean it up. For the carbon in here, I use a drill. If you find like a brass wire brush for the drill, you clean that up. You want to be careful of this hardened valve seats. You don't want to put any nicks in there. You don't want to use any sandpaper in here. So, all right, I just washed it off with the water after cleaning it with the degreaser and a toothbrush. The cylinder head definitely cleaned up. The cylinder head surface where it meets the block is almost perfect. The combustion chambers all the heavy carbon's gone. I'm not going too crazy with it. I'm just trying to get it clean. Now, where the aluminum is bare on the outside of the engine, not in the area where the oil is, just on the outside where this corrosion is taking place. Now that I got this on here, I'm going to spray some of this Rust-Oleum rust dissolver. Try to get rid of some of that corrosion. I don't want that on the inside areas where the oil is. Like I said, just on the outside where you can visibly see it. It just helps clean it up. I'm going to scrub that with a toothbrush to help get that corrosion to go away. Let that sit, follow the directions on there. This stuff I've had some good luck with. It cleans up the surfaces nice. Alright, because the valve seats looked clean, there's no damage to them. This will work. This process works well. I've been using it for years. This is basically lapping the valve in. Each one, after I clean the cylinder head and blow out the guides, get all the dirt and carbon out of there, I take an oil can, squirt oil into the valve guide, and I take the valve, put the valve in, and just be careful putting it in. Make sure that you don't feel anything binding. Once the valve is in there, this is my setup for this. The end of this drill, I got a piece of vacuum line. vacuum line that fits tight on the valve stem. I chuck that up in my drill, and I'll show you how I lap valves in. Alright, so I take my drill, make sure this is tight in the drill. Back up just a hair, yep. Put this over the valve stem. Now granted, the valve is lubricated in the valve guide. Once that's in here, on the other side, take some valve lapping compound, just a little bit on here, and I put it on the valve over here. So basically I just rub just a little bit of valve lapping compound on the face of the valve where it meets the head, and then pull it back so you can see the, yeah, right there. I run the drill, come around this way so you can show it. Can you see it? Yeah. I'm just using the drill to power, to spin the valve in the cylinder head. And now you'll be on YouTube. Alright. Go back to the other side. Can you see that well? Alright, now take the valve, wipe the compound off of the valve. So when you wipe the compound off of the valve, you should see a nice dull, wide surface with shiny parts of the valve on either side of that wide surface. That's where you're going to get good heat transfer and good seal. You don't want to see any pointed parts. We wipe out the valve seat. Now on this, you're going to look on the surface that the valve seat's against and make sure that it's dull and even all the way around, and that there's no pit marks. Now the other angle of that valve seat has got a little bit of marks, but the valve surface where the valve seat or seals against the valve seat, that should be nice and even. Right. And if you think any of these videos are helpful to you, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I'm going to try to grow this channel a little bit.